What's up guys, this is the Honest Outlaw here, and today we're going to be doing a review of the all-new Glock 45. This is the newest Glock released as of 2018, and it's got a few changes that make it unique in comparison to the previous models. But first I want to mention my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys very much, you keep this channel going. If you are a supporter of mine, you get entered into a monthly giveaway for guns and gear related items. I also want to mention ammo.com, they're another supporter of my channel. If you click the link in the description below, it'll save you 20 bucks on any order of $200 or more. I also want to mention I'm doing a giveaway on my Instagram, so if you don't follow me on Instagram, go over there and follow me. Back to the Glock 45. I want to say before I get to this review that I'm a Glock guy. I'm on your side. I've carried a Glock for years and I'll carry it for years more. So some of the negative things that I'm going to say in this review are going to be followed up by positive things, so calm it down. But what is the Glock 45? In my opinion, it is basically the Gen 6 of Glocks. It is a Glock 19 with a Glock 17 grip with a lot of features that are different from the standard Gen 5s. Features that in my opinion Glock should have had for years. It takes 17 round Glock 17 magazines, which will also fit into the 19 by the way. Now where did this gun come from? It came from the startling success of the Glock 19X, which was originally the runner-up in the modular handgun contract by the US military, where it lost to the SIG XM17. Whether that be because of price per unit, a better relationship, a lot of controversy surrounding the winner. Chris Barcoli has a great video on that entire debacle. But Glock lost the contract, realized they could sell these guns in the civilian market and make some of their money back. So they did. But the amount that they sold surprised even them, with over 100,000 Glock 19Xs sold in the last year. Now, for those who don't know, the Glock 19X is kind of a flat dark earth version of this. However, this has a lot of features which I prefer over the Glock 19X. So some of those Gen 6 features that I was talking about, as you can see here, are going to be first those front slide serrations. Now, are they perfect? No, they're not perfect, but are they good? Yeah, the point is that they're there. This is the only Glock besides I think some of the Gen 4s. There's a certain model of Gen 4 that had these as well. I think they were testing them out. And finally, after asking for years and years, people get these. That's really nice. It also comes with standard 3-dot night sights, which I think is really cool, especially for the standard Glock price. Now, I know you can get Gen 5s with the upgraded sights, but you also get an upgraded cost. This, for the standard cost, you get those 3-dot night sights. I'm a big fan of that. You also get no magazine cutout. Now, for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, this is a Gen 5 right here. So you see that weird magazine cutout? What that's supposed to be for is that if you get a magazine in there and you try to eject it and it doesn't come out, you can strip the magazine. However, most companies put it on the side here because it's less annoying to the shooter to have it on the side as opposed to feeling that with your finger. Now that came with such bad reception that even the new Gen 5s no longer have that cutout, including the Glock 45. So I really like that it doesn't have a cutout. I like that it comes with night sights. I love that it has front slide serrations. I love that it comes with the Gen 5 trigger. I'm a big fan of that. And now you can see the glaring obvious thing is that it does have the 19 size slide on the Glock 17 size frame. Now there are a lot of debates on whether that's good or not, and we'll get into that into this video. Alright, so some of the advantages to having the 19 size slide on the 17 size frame, according to Glock, is going to be that it's going to have quicker draws, although I don't see that being really possible. Even though you could have a slight advantage over the 17, it would be like 0.1%, and most of your draw is going to be about how many reps you have and how skilled you are at it. Another advantage is that it could be more comfortably in a seated vehicle, like a patrol vehicle or military. I could really see that being a big advantage. I've heard from people that it would have a lower recoil impulse in the G17 because of the lighter slide, and it would have a lower recoil impulse in the Glock 19 because of the longer grip. Now, be careful denying any of these are true, because if you do, some Glock fanboy will miraculously jump out of the bushes and scream in your face that it wasn't made for you, bro. It was made for the military, and they know better than you. So be careful when you're bashing the Glock 45 or the Glock 19 in any way, because as you will see in the comment section below, I'm going to get some of those as well. You can see here that it does have a shorter slide than the Glock 17. However, not by a tremendous amount. Will that affect you sitting in a car? I think it could. I really do. I think that for a LE or a military guy who wants a more comfortable gun and wants a full-size grip, and that's what he wants, then yes, maybe it would be more comfortable in a car, maybe it would be more comfortable on your junk, you know, carrying appendix. And if you really didn't like the shorter grip of a Glock 19 and you really couldn't get used to it. Now I have pretty big hands. I am 6'3", and you can see my entire hand covers this Glock very easily. However, I can more than comfortably shoot a Glock 19, so it's not that much of an issue for me, especially considering that the 17 size magazines will fit in the Glock 19 with no issue whatsoever. So capacity is not an issue for me either. So one's true, one's not. What about the lower recoil impulse? Well, I don't see that personally. I feel like it has the recoil impulse of the Glock 19. Is that bad? No, it's not bad. It's just not revolutionary either. Is it going to be better in confined spaces like a CQB type fighting situation? Maybe. I could see it maybe because it'd be less barrel to hold on to and more grip to hold on to, so you might have better leverage than somebody holding onto your gun. But what percentage of people are going to be in that situation to begin with? I don't know. That's one of the reasons why I was hesitant to do a video on the Glock 45 or especially the Glock 19. Because there's just so much misinformation about how good a shorter slide on a longer gripped gun would be. I mean, it's been out there and it's been done before, let's be honest. Look at this. This is a Commander size 1911. This is a standard grip on a shorter slide. Now, it has the same pros as the Glock 45 does, essentially. It doesn't recoil quite as well because you don't have enough weight out front to control the muzzle, but it still has the same magazine capacity and it's a little bit shorter for carry use so you don't hit your junk. That's basically it. It's not a revolutionary design. It's been done before, it's been done a long time, and the pros and cons are there whether you like it or not. Now, as far as reliability goes, it's excellent. It's absolutely amazing. I shot 1,000 rounds through this without cleaning it at all, and I shot cheap. Most of it was remanufactured ammo, and it ran perfectly fine as Glock would, and that's what I would expect. Accuracy, it's the same as a Glock 19 because it has the same sights, the same sight radius, and the same trigger. That extra little bit of grip might help you out if you have monster hands, but other than that, you're going to shoot it basically the same. Now, as far as ergonomics goes, I really like that Glock came out with this in the new MOS guns because it does have the features that tons of people were clamoring for. Now, I know some of you are going to dismiss the slide cuts, but I think it makes the gun look cool, and I think they are very functional if that is how you press check or rack your firearm. So I like that a lot. I love that they did away with the magazine cutout, and I love lots of the other features on the Gen 5 over the Gen 4, especially the trigger. Now, when I talk about the trigger, I'm like, wow, the Gen 5 trigger is better. And a lot of people are like, no, it's not. Well, the reason why I like it is because it does have a faster, shorter, crisper reset. And I shoot guns fairly quickly. And I like that a gun has a shorter, faster, crisper reset on a firearm. If you don't like that, or if it doesn't matter to you, then that's okay. Because a Glock is essentially a Glock after all. You're basically buying a Glock, and then after that, you're kind of picking between which features are good, which features are bad. If you gave me a 19, a 17, a 34, a 23, a 22, I'm all going to shoot them relatively the same. You give me a 19X, I'm going to shoot it very similar to a 19 or a 17. It's because they're very similar guns. Doesn't mean they're bad guns. Doesn't mean they're bad. They're some of the best guns made in this world. But it just means that they're not revolutionary. So is the Glock 45 worth buying? If you want it, I think it absolutely is. For me, the reason why I bought it is because after I kind of dismissed the 19X, I realized another niche that I think it really fits into, besides maybe carrying in a vehicle or a guy with large hands kind of thing. I really like the idea of it for a compensated / silenced gun. Now, I have a couple of pistol silencers and I have a couple of compensators that I would love to put a threaded barrel on, and I really like the idea of having a longer grip for a little more balance with something heavy hanging out the front there. So what I plan on doing with this pistol is I plan on using it either as a dedicated silencer gun or a dedicated compensator gun. I'm leaning towards compensated right now, honestly, because silenced pistols are cool, but they're not really super practical. So most of my pistol cans are actually on pistol caliber carbines, and that's where I like them. I think I'm going to put maybe an ARC comp on this, and I might get the slide milled for an RMR. Either that or I'll just buy a Glock 19 MOS and put the slide on here, one or the other. Because another cool thing about the 45, to answer a bunch of questions that I got, is that yes, the Gen 5 slide from the 19 fits and functions on my 45. Are they supposed to do that? I don't know. but they do in fact do that, and I think that's pretty cool. And honestly, I think my 19 slide is kind of a step up in sexiness compared to the other one, but you tell me. I'm a big Hawkeye fan, so I love the gold and black. So overall, what does the Glock 45, or the Glock 19X for that matter, do for you that a 19 won't? Not much. It might balance a little bit better for silencer or suppressor use, however you want to say it. It might be better for a compensator, it might be better for a guy with large hands, it might be better for a guy that wants a duty-sized gun fitting into a car all day, or maybe a concealed appendix situation where you think you're going to be using your gun a lot, maybe you're an undercover officer, that kind of thing. Is it going to be slightly better shooting than a Glock 19? Maybe. Maybe for you. Is it going to be slightly more concealable than a Glock 17? Maybe. It all depends on what you want. Glocks are great guns. Get what you like. If you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please help out your local homeless shelters, and remember to recycle. I'll check you later.
Okay. Okay, now I'm ready.
Can't even see that plate rack. That plate rack is not visible.
Very camouflaged.